guys, welcome to the best books of December. I actually didn't have a ton of books that I really loved that I read in December. I do have five I'm going to talk about, but a couple of them had 4.5 instead of 5 stars, but it just gives me a little bit more to chat to you guys about. Okay, so just going into it, the first book I read in December that I really loved is Digg by A.S. King. For a long time, I've been an A.S. King fan. And this was a really spectacular read. It's about some different people. You originally don't know how they're related. And there's a little bit of magical realism in there, but they're trying to navigate a variety of family issues. Everything is linked back to this older couple and some decisions they made and how it affects all these other people. So it can be kind of uncomfortable to read. It does deal with a lot of mental illness and societal issues and things like that, racism, sexism. But it was really well crafted and really intriguing, and I found it impossible to put down and just really enjoyed it a lot. So that's the first one. The second one I have on my list is The Calculating Stars by Mary Robinette Kowal. This is the first book in the Lady Astronaut series. This I did get 4.5 out of 5 stars rather than 5 out of 5. This is set in like an alternate 1950s where a meteorite hits the ocean outside of Washington, D.C. And, initially there is, of course, a lot of death and problems, but what the bigger issue is the long-term effect on climate change. And the main woman is a calculator whose husband works as a rocket scientist, but she's also a former WASP pilot, and so she ends up kind of promoting, so it basically forces the astronaut program to move much faster than it would have. She ends up kind of lobbying for women to be allowed into the astronaut training, and so that's kind of what it's about. It was very good. It's like the characters are very personable, the world is very interesting and well made, and it's kind of a fun premise, scary and fun premise, and I really enjoyed it, and I plan on continuing reading the series. So I would recommend it if you like alternate history or science fiction or just things about space travel. It was real well done. All right, the third one I have on the list is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I did give this 5 out of 5 stars. I was a huge fan of Garber's Caraval series, and this series takes place in that same world, but features some different characters. Evangeline is the main character, and Jax, the Prince of Hearts, is in the story a lot as well. The initial premise is that Evangeline had somebody, so she was basically engaged to, or who was her boyfriend or whatever, and all of a sudden one day he's engaged to her sister, and she doesn't understand why, but she really wants to stop the wedding, so she makes a deal with the Prince of Hearts to do that, and he requires her to give 3 kisses at the time and date of his choosing to various people as part of that deal. And this has a whole bunch of ramifications. This is just like Caraval. They end up at this magical like celebration up north in the woods or whatever. It's got this very like surreal magical feel to it, almost a carnival atmosphere again for parts of the book. Lots of magic. The fates are again involved. And this is one that I just really enjoy Garber's writing style. She's got such a beautiful magical writing style, such excellent imagery. She really makes these sparkling fantasy worlds kind of come alive, and the characters are not necessarily good, that like they make some bad choices, but then they try to make up for it as they're going through the book. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to future books in this series, and I just love Garber's writing style, and everything I read by her I'm just absolutely enthralled by. So really enjoyed it, and I would recommend it if you're into that kind of dreamy, sparkly, magically fantasy world that's a little bit dark, maybe. All right, the next one on my list is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. I did give this one 4.5 stars. I also gave the follow-up book to the duology. This is the follow-up book. I was thinking. Anyways, I also gave the first book in the duology 4.5 stars. This was well done. It is a Romeo and Juliet retelling set in Shanghai in 1920s. This kind of follows up to things that started in the first book. There is a monster that is releasing these insects that cause a madness in people, and that is also addressed in this book. It is very violent, but the plot was really well done, and I enjoyed kind of the push and pull between the two Shanghai gangs that Romeo Roma is part of, and Juliet in this book is part of as well. It was really well done, really well written. The world's very complete. I kind of knocked off a half a star just because towards the end it felt a little bit long to me, and then the ending is a bit ambiguous, but overall I really enjoyed it and thought it was very creative and very well done, and I will definitely be checking out more books by Gami in the future. And then the last one I had on my list is a series I've been reading that I've been liking, but I thought this book kind of really knocked it out of the park. And that is Midlife Magical Invasion, which is, I believe, the third book in the Leveling Up series by K.F. Breen. This is a paranormal series, urban fantasy series. It is touted as woman's fiction because the main character is in her 40s, but I really like the first couple books in the series, but I feel like this one took it to a whole new level, leveling up. But it's a very fun premise. It's a woman in her 40s who went through a bad divorce, and she buys this house, this old house in a small town, to be its caretaker. She doesn't know the house is sentient and magical and has decided that she's its new guardian, and as a result, she gets involved in this huge magical world with gargoyles and werewolves and all these things. In this book in particular, her parents decide to come visit, and not only is that hilarious, there's also kind of a huge magical battle between different forces. She's also starting to learn a whole bunch about her magic. There's a very well done male lead that she gets involved with too. This book is full of quirky characters. It's hilarious. It's very creative. I'm really enjoying the different types of supernatural or paranormal creatures. I guess they'd be more than supernatural. And I'm really enjoying it a lot. And I just thought this one was really fantastic. And my cat just walked in. Well, you want to say hi? Come here. Hey, this is Rividi, who doesn't look very happy that I picked him up. But he's been spending a lot of time helping me work from home, haven't you, sweetie? Yeah, you got that I'm upset you picked me up look, but you're just gonna let me hold you. Look, you're a star. He's like, no. Anyways, so those were the 5 books that I read in December and I really enjoyed. Again, not a lot of them, but I actually read quite a few books I wasn't a huge fan of this month, and I didn't read as many books because I was kind of transitioning jobs, so I was pretty busy with other things. But there you go. I hope that you had a lot of books that you read in December that you really enjoyed. I do try to post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. The upcoming Wednesday post will probably be the top 10 new to me authors I want to read in 2022, and the top 20 books that I want to read in 2022. And then I'll probably get back into the last couple steampunk videos that I wanted to do. So on Saturday, it's usually Stack of the Shelves. So that being said, I hope you had a lot of great books in December. Please let me know if there's any that you love in the comments below. And I will talk to you on Saturday for a Stack in the Shelves. Have a great week of reading. Bye.